Hey guys, welcome to the channel. My name's Simon. I'm 50 this year. I've recently bought an e-bike. It's been transformative. I'm feeling evangelical. I want to share some stuff with you on this channel to help you benefit from my experience. Today, I'm going to share with you how to buy a half price, quality, I'm talking good stuff, e-mountain bike. So essentially, you want an e-mountain bike. If you're still umming and ahhing, we've got a great video, 6 really good reasons why you might want one. Got to be worth the watch. Link somewhere. Haven't quite worked it out yet. It'll be there somewhere. Description if not. So you want an e-mountain bike. Like me, really keen to get one. Just couldn't afford £5,000, which left me in that dilemma. You know, do I compromise and buy something from Halfords at 3 and spec's not great and I'm a bit brand conscious maybe. Sorry Halfords. So, you know, I know what I want. It's £4 grand, it's £5 grand. I want the good stuff. I want the good stuff. So if like me, you want the good stuff, but you just don't have the dough, then something interesting has happened. E-mountain bikes have evolved. In the last couple of years, they've been getting very good. And interestingly, the residuals aren't too heavy. So, you know, you pay £4 grand for your bike, 2 years later, it's around half price. So this really means that it's an opportunity to look at stuff that was the absolutely, great kit 2 years ago. And now I appreciate this. It is not going to be the same spec as the latest bike. And today we're going to look at the latest Focus, which is a great bike, and the Focus that I bought, which is 2 years old. But here's the thing that's kind of inescapable, really, is I can ride the same trails as you. My bike is 90% of a £4,000 bike. It's still an absolutely brilliant quality bike, and it's a great entry level into the sport. It's going to get you out there, save you some money. It's a good way to try it. When you come to sell it, you'll recover some of your money anyway. But, the differences, yes, there will be technical differences. It doesn't have quite the same battery. It doesn't have quite the same motor. But it's a brilliant bike. There are brilliant bikes out there, 2, 3 grand. Instead of spending 6, 4, whatever you're going to spend. So I really urge you to have a look and have a think about having a look on eBay, seeing what's out there and what's available. So here's a few things to consider. Let me tell you what I'd advise you to do. If you're going to buy one on eBay, you need to do your research. Okay, you need to look at completed listings, start to look at how much things are selling for, read the reviews, maybe get down to 4 or 5 bikes that you're keeping a bit of a watch on. I tend to have a general watch list on e-mountain bikes, e-mtb, that sort of thing. So I'm seeing what's coming up, but there's a lot of stuff you don't want out there if you're going to be discerning. So good to sort of have a general watching list, but then some specific bikes that you've got your eye on. You've read the reviews, you're happy with, you can be ready to buy. And really my top tip, or one of my top tips, is the moment it's listed. Obviously you're going to get a ping, have a look, read the listing, look at the person's reviews. If it looks like, here's the thing, if you get a feeling it's the one, it's going to be the one. I nearly bought 2 other bikes, but I just couldn't quite feel it. I just couldn't quite, I'd had conversations with the people, I just couldn't quite press the trigger on it. But when I found this one, I just knew. The tip is to contact them on eBay, engage in a conversation. I tend to go with, hi, really like the bike. Can you tell me why you're selling it? Which is always interesting. Get a bit of a chat going. And then say, look, I'm going on a mountain biking trip with the boys and I need it before the auction ends. Have you got to buy it now in mind? And this often works really well, but this works well at the very early stages of the auction where they think that, I'll put it up at 1,500, I might get a couple of grand for it. Their expectations are lower. And getting in and having a conversation at that point and saying, look, I really do need it earlier. You've got a valid excuse. You're not just bargain hunting, even if you are. Then I found that to be a really, really good method. Plus, it's nice to communicate with someone. It's nice to know that you're buying something off someone they've looked after it. It's their pride and joy. There's a valid reason for selling it. The chap I bought from had an injury. So when I had a look at this listing, I ended up paying, and the bike sat behind me. It's a Focus Jam Squared Limited. It was originally a 4 grand bike, and I paid £1,700 for it, which is not bad. I will post another video on what to look for when you're buying a bike. Also, what you can expect. There are a few things you may have to spend a little bit of money on, and some surprising things really, but that'll be in another video. So if you do subscribe to the channel, happy to share all that with you as well. Want you to benefit from my experience, want you to get out there, want you to have fun. You know, really, really can't stress that enough. So get yourself on eBay, get yourself a watch list, start doing the research, start seeing what's available, what things are selling for. And a word of caution on that, a lot of people, when you look at the completed listings, they do end auctions early for payment, and therefore people sometimes pay a bit more cash on top. So sometimes those listings can be a little bit lower than you might expect, and other times a little bit higher. So just bear that in mind. But it's a really great way to be able to afford a fantastic mountain bike. It's going to get you out there. It's going to deliver a very similar experience. Okay, it's not got the latest motor. Don't buy into, we're in the photography business. We teach photography, and loads of my clients say, oh my God, I've got to buy the latest camera. Nah. A great photograph and a great ride is not always about having the latest bike or the latest camera. It's about you enjoying it, putting yourself into it. You can have, I guarantee, as much fun on this bike as you can spending 4 grand. If you then decide, I'll run that for a year, this is my strategy, I'm going to run this for a year, unless Focus want to lend me, feel free Focus, a new Focus SAM, and then I'll run this and at the same time and do some long-term reviews, because I think there's an interesting niche in the videos where it would be interesting to test bikes that are, say, 2 years old and see how they're holding up, and are they still good value, and do they still represent a good buy. So I think there's an interesting buyer's guide angle there. And it'd be interesting to literally take the both out and ride the two on the same trail and have that experience. So we may do that later in the year, possibly early next. But my advice is commit. If you're not sure, watch the video on why. Have a look on eBay. There are some great bikes out there. Get yourself out cycling. You will not regret it. You'll have the biggest smile on your face. Please enjoy.